This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Former bank employee now begging on the streets. The tattered clothing and the stench that emanated from Stafford Malcolm is a far cry for better days when he was employed to one of Jamaica's largest commercial bank. Malcolm now lives under a culvert in the rural township of Glengough district in northeast St. Catherine and is in dire need of help. I worked at the Spanish Town branch of National Commercial Bank. I don't remember how long, but now I'm sick and need help. Beg you $100 please, he pleaded recently. The plight of the 59-year-old has been highlighted by concerned resident Alfred Maka Thompson. Bossy, look over the gully dear. That is a sad story. It is a human being that you are looking at, and him usually work at a bank. No rain wet him and sunburn him, Thompson said. The lone figure of Morgan on soaked cardboard was observed about 6 feet below road level, and it took several shouts to awaken him from his slumber. The news team was told that Morgan isn't violent and doesn't give problems, only that he begs to live in addition to persons giving him food occasionally. I remember him very well, as we were neighbors in Grateful Hill, Jean Taylor said. I remember him used to drive him nice car from work. He doesn't do much talking, but he helped to make the community very proud. Having collected enough money to purchase a lunch, Malcolm revealed that he is a father of 3 children, but couldn't account for their whereabouts. Malcolm also disclosed that he is a past student of Oberlin High School, but couldn't give further details. CMU to offer blended and stimulated learning. Deputy President of the Caribbean Maritime University says the institution will put in place various methodologies to hold classes in the coming semester. In light of the new norm of using technology in schools to a greater extent than before the pandemic, the CMU has indicated an interest in preserving the mixed approach of the teaching and learning process. We continue to encourage our staff and students to get vaccinated, but we know that it is not something that you can force on anybody, he said, adding that no student will be left behind in upcoming semesters. We are optimistic based on what the situation is come January or the pronouncement of the government. We are looking forward to having a combination of face-to-face and online classes, he said. The president, who spoke with the news, said the institution is offering the majority of its master's degree programs online, while giving the opportunity for those in undergraduate programs to attend face-to-face classes. But the CMU deputy president said there were challenges. Only those students who lived close to the campus were able to attend the classes face-to-face, while others faced difficulties to participate in online learning. Faced with the responsibility of over 3,000 students, the president said it was a serious challenge in that semester, referring to the semester following the impact of the pandemic last March. Over time, he says CMU has been able to address the challenges faced by the students and has sought to make it more affordable for students to remain registered with the institution. We try as much as possible to arrange ways to meet the demands of the students, he said, adding that auxiliary fees, which are usually between $55,000 and $65,000, have been reduced to $45,000. Since the last academic year, tuitions and auxiliary fees have also not been increased. Students, he said, have been greatly receptive of this. In partnership with the American Caribbean Maritime Foundation, the president said 60 students have been able to benefit from scholarships and other forms of financial aid. Additionally, the foundation has donated laptops and other devices. He said marine biotechnology students and cadets are being given simulation training, which involves teaching students how to perform specific tasks in various real-world scenarios. The cadets are not suffering in any way, but we are likely to see an improvement in the long run, the president said. Sangsters Heights residents say water tank serves no purpose. NWC responds. The water tank that serves the community of Sangsters Heights in Clarendon has been described as a wasted monument by some residents in the community. In an interview with the news, Wilbert Edwards informed that for the longest time he cannot remember getting any water from the tank, which he said was constructed by the former Member of Parliament George Lynn in the 90s. According to him, only some persons in the community benefit from the tank due to the low water pressure. He said he was always told that all it takes is a return valve to correct the problem. Carlton MacDonald said the water is filled in the tank 3 times in the week, which is not enough. They do not put as much water in it 1 hour or 1 hour and a half, and then they lock it off. They don't put as much for it to continue serving the community, he said. MacDonald said that time and again the matter was reported to the NWC, with workers visiting and trying to fix it, but nothing happens. Jane Lynn, another resident from the community, said they have been told that the problem is with a lock-off valve, which needs to be fixed. The community has not been benefiting from the tank, so I contacted the NWC. I don't know much detail as I am getting water from other sources, she said. Lynn said the tank should be a backup source whenever there is a drought, adding that she currently does not have any water in either of her 2 tanks. Expressing dissatisfaction, Lynn said she is resigned to the fact as there is nothing they can do about it, as the NWC is already aware of the issue but has yet to implement a solution. However, Community Relations Manager for the Eastern Division of the National Water Commission, Delano Williams, said the valve is not an issue. He said the area is normally supplied with water via the 3 wells at the South Chapelton well system. However, there has been a fallout in supply as low yields forced the shutdown of one of the wells approximately 3 years ago. The periods of dry spells or droughts in previous years would have also negatively impacted the water supply to the Chapelton and the Sangsters Heights areas. Williams said that the situation has been further exacerbated in recent weeks by the temporary loss of a second well due to a mechanical issue with the pump. With the loss of a second well, he pointed out that only 1 well is now viable to serve the community. While the second well will be restored, he informed that immediate action is being taken. Hence, NWC is now reviewing water supply schedule in a bid to alleviate the shortfall being experienced by the residents. He said that a simulation is underway to decide how best to improve the supply and that the NWC may have to reduce the number of supply days so as to improve the volume delivered to customers. He also added that there are long-term solutions being explored to resolve the issue. There are 2 wells we are dealing with now near the Rock River community. We were estimating that one of these new systems will have a greater yield that is sufficient to provide additional water to the Chapelton system and reduce the shortfall that now exists, he said. Responding to residents' claim that when water goes into the tank it drains out, Williams said that currently the tank is not in use as the yield is so low that it would have taken about 4 days to fill up. He said that bypassing the tank is not ideal, but based on the length of time and the small volume that is available, the delivery times to customers would have been severely affected. He added that the adjustment in schedule will seek to provide temporary relief while the company works to repair the second pump so that more water can be pumped. Mining Minister dissolves the CAP board. Reports now reaching the news are that Minister of Mining Robert Montague has dissolved the board of directors of Clarendon Alumina Production by demanding the resignation of its members. Montague demanded the resignations yesterday. The news source said up to 7 members of the CAP board have already tendered their resignation to the minister. The development means that the board is effectively dissolved, with it being unable to form a quorum. Some CAP board members have been at loggerheads recently over several decisions made, including the award of a contract to an entity for consulting services. Last week, a former CAP board chairman Norman Reed resigned in protest at the contract awarded. Audio of a meeting with the CAP board meeting leaked into the public domain last week. In the audio, a voice believed to be deputy chairman of the board, Dennis Wright, was heard insisting that the general manager of CAP inked the controversial contract. The minister's decision to dissolve the CAP board was made hours before he briefs the cabinet on the controversy which has engulfed the entity. CAP co-owners Jamalco Alumina Refinery with General Alumina Jamaica Limited. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.